Hello, welcome back to Hyper Gossip, your top source for jaw-dropping celebrity drama and pop culture meltdowns. Today's headline is so explosive, it practically writes itself. Mel Gibson leaves The View in chaos. One sentence changed everything. Buckle up, because this one's a wild ride. It all started like any typical morning on The View, where the co-hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Alyssa Farah Griffin, were welcoming actor and director Mel Gibson for what was supposed to be a straightforward interview about his latest film project. Things seemed cordial at first, with Whoopi tossing a few softballs about his comeback and cinematic legacy. Mel answered with his usual gruff charm, brushing off past controversies with practiced ease. But the atmosphere shifted dramatically when Joy asked a pointed question about the current state of Hollywood's political culture. That's when it happened. Mel leaned in, smirked, and delivered the sentence that detonated the studio. Hollywood doesn't have a cancel culture problem, it has a hypocrisy problem, and you're all part of it. The air went thick. There was a moment of stunned silence on set, followed by a verbal explosion. Joy Behar immediately pushed back, her voice rising, accusing Mel of deflecting from his own past scandals. Sunny Hostin looked visibly shaken and began listing names of marginalized artists she believed had been unfairly silenced. Alyssa tried to steer the conversation back to the movie, but the chaos was already snowballing. Whoopi Goldberg, who had been quietly watching the exchange, finally jumped in, saying, "Mel, you can't come on here, attack us, and expect applause." But Mel wasn't backing down. He fired back with, "You invited me here knowing who I am. Don't act surprised when I speak my mind." That statement only inflamed the situation further. Producers reportedly signaled to cut to commercial, but the co-host kept going. What was meant to be a 10-minute segment turned into a shouting match that lasted nearly 25 minutes, most of it unusable for broadcast. Sources from behind the scenes say the control room was in full panic mode. The audience, half confused and half thrilled, alternated between gasping and awkward clapping. Finally, after a tense exchange with Whoopi off mic, Mel stood up, shook his head, and walked off the set, live, mid-broadcast. You could hear a pin drop, then someone in the audience let out a nervous laugh before the screen abruptly cut to commercial. By the time the show returned, Mel was long gone, and the hosts offered a vague statement about passionate conversations. Social media, of course, went into meltdown. Mel on The View began trending within the hour, with millions weighing in. Some praised Mel for telling the truth, while others slammed him for his lack of accountability and accused the show of platforming problematic voices. ABC has not yet released a full statement, but insiders say producers are scrambling to contain the fallout and reconsider future guest policies. Stay tuned to Hyper Gossip for all the latest updates on this. Developing drama, one thing's for sure, morning television may never be the same.